In the last session, we have seen CSV file. I created CSV file under datasets folder with a name as sample1. CSV file we can open in the editor also. This is the CSV file sample Microsoft CSV. You can see comma separated values. CSV stands for comma separated values. You can open in the Excel. If you double click, it will open in the Excel application. The speciality of the CSV file is we can open in any of the editor also. Let me open in the Edit Plus. You can see normal Excel file cannot be opened in the editors. Only in the Excel application we can able to open. I can also open in the notepad. Open with, choose the notepad. CSV file, comma separated value file. We can open in any of the editor, not only in the Excel application. This is the Excel application, Excel software. In the Excel software we can open. We can also open in any of the editor. Let me close it. Let's open in any editor. I can also go for Notepad++. You can see. In any editor. I am opening in the Excel application. In the last section, we have seen a simple program to read the data of the CSV file. In case of machine learning, data will be in the CSV file or in the Excel sheet. Most of the data sets will be in the CSV file. Through Python, you should know how to read CSV file. After knowing processing of CSV file, that is reading, then we can apply machine learning algorithms. Before going to any machine learning algorithm, you should have a clear understanding on how we can process CSV file. From a Python program to process the CSV file, to process the Excel sheet, we are using Pandas library. Pandas library. In the last section, I showed you how we can install Pandas. There are two ways to install any of the third-party libraries. First one, go to the file settings. Under settings, you can see project. In the project, you can see Python interpreter. You can click on this plus mark. Then you can select which library you wanted. Pandas. Click on install package. Already it's installed, that is why not taking much time. This is one way. Let me close. The second way, open a terminal. You can see the terminal in the bottom. In the terminal, use pip command. Install pandas. Open the terminal. Use pip command. Install package name. Install package name. As it is already not taken much time. Please observe. Not taken much time. Let's develop one simple Python program. I'll go for C1. The file name as c1.py. Go for import pandas as any identifier, generally using PD. Now, use PD to define a data frame. Whatever data reading from the CSV file, whatever data reading from the Excel sheet, the data we can treat as a data frame. I'm choosing variable name as a df. Already we have seen variables. I'm choosing identifier to the variable as a df. Df is equal to pd dot read CSV. You need to supply the qualified path, absolute path of the CSV file. How we can take absolute path of the CSV file? Go to the Windows Explorer. You can go for backward slash in the address bar. Go for yes. You can see sample.csv. Let me take this. Try providing under single quote or under double quote. Now print df data frame. Semicolon is not a mandatory. Try running. This we have seen in the last section itself. Try developing everybody c1.py. This is the import statement. You can also go without as. Let us consider. I'm not giving aliasing name. If I'm not giving aliasing name, you have to specify pandas. Import pandas, then pandas dot read underscore CSV. Try running the same. It is up to you whether aliasing name is required or using original name itself. You can use forward slash also as a separator. Better to use forward slash. While using Linux environment, it allows only forward slash. Windows supports both backward slash and forward slash. In case of Windows, backward slash is a default one. In Linux, only forward slash is allowed. Better to go for forward slash. While copying from the address bar, by default you are getting a backward slash in case of Windows. Let me show once again how we can create a CSV file. Everybody, let me close this CSV file. First open Excel sheet. I'm opening Excel application. Go to the blank workbook. Try saving as any name. I'll choose a datasets folder. I'll go for sample2. Save as Excel workbook by default. Here you have to choose CSV. In case of CSV, comma delimited. Comma delimited. Click on save. You can go for any header, something like a name, age, salary. Let's go for name Vijay, age 25, salary 50,000. Murali, age 28, go for salary 60,000. Likewise, even though cells are here, even though cells are there, but internally comma separated values. Let's go for Swati, 22, maybe 45,000. Likewise, you can develop CSV file. After developing CSV file, try choosing the same CSV file, absolute path. In the same datasets, I defined a CSV file with the name as sample2. Control Shift F10. You can see, very simple program. Let me copy this all 3 lines, everybody. I'll develop a new program by copying these 3 statements. Right click on demo 1, go to the new, select a Python file, choose C2. Whatever you copied, try keeping over here. Read CSV. In the previous output, we got name, age, salary. Assume we don't want first row. You can go for skip rows. Skip rows is equal to 1. Try running this one. You can compare the output between C1 and C2. Everybody, C1 and C2. Skip rows is equal to 1. If I go for 2, you can see Vijay row is not reading. This is not the requirement. Always go for reading entire CSV or skipping the header. That is 1 row. While defining a data frame, you can specify from which CSV you are trying to define a data frame and what are the additional properties. The skip rows we can achieve in another way also. I'm just commenting this and copying this in another way. Instead of skip rows, you can specify from which header row onwards it has to read. header is equal to 1. Header 0 is a first row, header 1 is a second row, header 2 is a third row. 0, 1, 2, 3. From which header row onwards it has to read? If you go for header 0, then from first row onwards it will be reading. If you go for header 2, first 2 rows will be skipping. The general is either header 0 or header 1. Default is a header 0. Skip rows also 0. Default. How to read specified rows, like reading only second row, or reading only second row, third row, or reading last row, last 2 rows. How we can read specified rows. I'll copy this one once again, everybody. Go for C3. We already understood header and skip rows. I'm just removing. I'm also removing the first commented one. This we know very well. Please observe. Let us go for set1 as a variable name. Df dot ilog. Initially, I'll go for reading all the rows, all the columns. Ilog. Ilog should be used through square bracket. Let me print set1. Try running this. Both are one and the same. Printing df straight away and printing set1 through ilog. Just experiment this. I can go for one separator. To give a differentiation between first output and second output. In case of ilog, first argument says like a which rows. Second argument says like which columns. Here we specified like every row. We specified every column. every row, every column. You need to specify range of the rows, range of the columns. First argument specifies range of the rows. Second column specifies range of the columns. I want to read every column from the first row. All the columns from the first row. If I want to read all the columns from the first row, go for rows range as 0 colon 1. Columns is generic, just colon. Every column from the first row. Every column from the first row. Every column from the first row. Zero colon 1. Let us see if you go for 0 and 0. Empty data frame. It is considering only from second row onwards. First one is treating as a header. Then Vijay row 0 colon 1. If you go for 0 colon 2, you can see 0 and 1. If you wanted, you can choose 1 colon 2. That is row ID 1. Only one row will be reading. That is Murali row. You can see. The first one is a inclusive. Second one is a exclusive. First one is a inclusive. Second one is a exclusive. You can see the numbering also. While printing DF straight away, Vijay is getting 0 number, Murali is getting 1 number, Swati is getting a 2 number. Come on. While going for ILOC of 1 colon 2, it will consider 1. 1 is a inclusive, 2 is a exclusive. If you go for 1 colon 3, you will be getting 1 and 2. You will be getting 1 and 2. You can see 1 is a Murali, 2 is a Swati. I kept 6 data rows. One is a header. 6 data rows. Now check it out. inside a Python. Come to the Python program. Please observe iLock. It is taking two arguments. First one specifies rows, second one specifies columns. If you go for 1:5, row 1, row 2, row 3, row 4, but not row 5. That is, data row 5 will be exclusive. Try running. You can see 1:5 means 1:4. 1:5 means from record number 1 to 4. The range of records. You can see record numbering. iLock is taking this numbering. Let me go for 3 colon. Three colon means from record number 3 onwards, remaining all 3, 4, 5. Totally 5 rows are there with respect to data. Sorry, 6 rows from 0 onwards. With respect to data, 6 rows. Three colon. Skip rows is only for read CSV, not iLock. Skip rows is only for read CSV, not for iLock. For iLock, go for rows range, columns range. Rows range, columns range. I want to read all the rows, but only one column. Only one column. Let's go for 1:2. All the rows, one column. Let us see which column we will be getting, whether Vijay or age. We are getting a age. Name is considered as a 0th index. Age is a 1 index. 2 is a salary. 1:2 means 1 should be inclusive, 2 should be exclusive. 1 should be inclusive, 2 should be exclusive. From every row, this says like from every row. This says like only one column, that is column number 1. Vijay is 0th index column. 25 age is 1 index. 50,000 salary is a 2 index. 1:2. I want to read only names. Go for 0:1. So please observe, this is the total data frame. Whatever data is there, the complete data we are assigning to data frame. By using this data frame, we are defining a subset. You can also call this also a data frame. This also a data frame. Please observe. This is also a data frame. It is a subset. It is a subset. Generally, we may not be able to count rows. There may be thousands together rows. I wanted the last one row or two rows. The last one row or last two rows. Let us see how we can read last one row. Let's go for -1. You can see the last one row, -1. Generally, CSV file might contain thousands together. Thousands together. Positive number means from top to bottom. Negative number means from bottom to the top. Negative number is from bottom to the top. Let's see what will be giving -2. You can see Ravi and Rekha. If you go for positive number 2, you will be getting from Swati onwards every record, counting from top to bottom. Two colon. From Swati onwards. If you go for -3, from the bottom, counting will be. The last record is -1. The last record is -1. -1, -2, -3. -3 onwards. Let me go for -3, -2. You have to get only Ramu. You can see only Ramu. In the same way, columns, even though columns are fixed, definitely there will be no hundreds together columns. Columns may be 10 or maybe 15 or maybe 20. We can able to control the columns very easily. Still, if you wanted, you can use a negative columns. You can see the last column. I want the last two columns. I wanted last but one. Age is the last but one. You can experiment. Positive numbers from left to right in case of columns. Negative numbers right to left in case of columns. Positive numbers from top to bottom in case of rows. Negative numbers from bottom to top in case of rows. While reading from the CSV file, let us consider you want to replace some odd values. Let us consider Open a CSV file. Let's consider Ramu age is 0 and Rekha salary is 0. Nobody's age is 0. Nobody's salary will be 0. Please remember. Assume you don't have a data of Ramu, that is age. You don't have a salary of Rekha. At that time, you may be inserting zeros. Instead of zeros, it is advisable NAN, not a number, instead of 0. 0 doesn't have a meaning for age and salary. Nobody's age is 0. Nobody's salary is 0. How to replace from 0 from 0 to NAN? While reading itself, we can able to do. Let us see in the next program. I'm copying this, everybody. C4. Let's go for first one as a DF1. Second one as a DF2. No set 1 here. Let us print DF1, DF2. As of now, both are same. Try running this. Let me check whether CSV is saved or not. Control Shift F10. We got the same output. DF1, DF2. How to replace zeros as a NAN, not a number. NAN, not a number. For DF2, I will be using NA underscore values. Let's provide 0. Try running this one. You can see the difference between DF1 output, DF2 output. Wherever 0 is there, the 0 should be replaced with not a number, NAN. In case of DF2, you will not be finding zeros. You are finding NAN, not a number. This is very much required while analyzing data. Whenever data is analyzing, it's very much required. Let us consider some people, instead of 0, keeping like a not available. Assume salary of Murali not available. Salary of Murali not available. So this not available also you have to replace to NAN. Please observe. Already age, let us consider Ravi. We mentioned just NA. It is not a predefined NAN. We are mentioning like a not available in the short format as a NA. How to replace NA as NAN? not available as NaN, 0 as NaN. Please observe. Not only 0, Na and also not available. First to save your CSV file, then you can run it. You can see in 4 places NaN in the DF2. So please observe, wherever 0 is there, NaN, wherever Na is there, NaN, wherever not available, NaN. This is what our CSV file. Ravi H not available, we mentioned as a short name Na. Salary of Murali not available, we mentioned clearly as not available. Ramu age also not available, we mentioned as a 0 rather than not available. Salary of Rekha also we specified as 0. So wherever 0, wherever NA, wherever not available, all should be replaced as a NaN. NaN is a valid value that specifies like a not a value. You will be knowing more about NaN while going through algorithms. Let us consider one person name itself Na. Assume Swati name. Maybe her family name or surname is a Na. Instead of Swati, we are mentioning her family name Na. So maybe some kind of abbreviation is there for this. Assume it is a family name, surname. So Na is there under name column. That Na should not be replaced to NaN. Come on. It is the name of the person. There may be some people having a name as a Na itself. It is actual value. It's not available or it's not a internal meaning of Na. Now if you run this program, so this Na also will be replacing to NaN. Let us run this one. First to save the CSV file. Try running. Control Shift F10. You can see name also replaced. If you don't want to replace in any one column, then you need to specify in which columns it should be replaced. You have to specify in which columns. Now you have to specify list of the columns where replacement is required. List of the columns through dictionary. Please observe. Through dictionary, specify which of the columns. Come back to the Python program. Sorry. Column name age. This should be as a one entry in the dictionary. You will be knowing more about dictionaries. You will be knowing more about dictionaries in the Python. For one column. Go for second column. Salary. Again same values. In the dictionary, two entries we are keeping. One is a age specific entry, second one is a salary specific entry. Now column wise you can choose which values can be NaN. Which values can be NaN. Now run this one. You can see name column is not replaced. It is Na only. It is not replaced. Wherever age column, salary column. Age column Na0 are not available. Treat it as a NaN. While reading CSV file into data frame, you can replace data into meaningful. If any data is there which is not meaningful, the data can be replaced with meaningful notations. You can also replace with average value in case of age. If any age is missed, you can take it average or mean. If any of the salary is missed, you can take average or mean or mode. That portion I will show you afterwards. Just to practice all these things, we will continue the same in the next class.